Tete, Company Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretary. I know the agenda has been distributed to all unit holders as part of the notice for this meeting. May I know if there are any objections to the agenda? Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Chair, we have none.
So if there are no comments, amendments, or objections, shall we entertain a motion at this time to approve the agenda? So I will ask a member to move and then a member to second. So let's have our coordinators check that for us.
So, Mr. Chair, we have Na Ayikai Ajintete move the motion. May we have a seconder, please? Felix Opoku Yeboah has seconded the motion.
Okay, the motion is duly carried. Thank you. So we shall delve directly into the agenda for today. Let's discuss the voting procedure and how you may ask questions. So I'll let the Secretary take us through the procedure.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So here is everything we need to know to navigate the crucial aspect of unit holder participation when we get there. So members will be required to vote either through the online platform or through a USSD shortcode. The two voting options will allow members to cast their vote in real time. So option one, which is the online platform, this is available to all unit holders, including those outside the country. It, however, requires members to use a computer or a smart device. To participate in the voting exercise via the online platform, members can locate the vote box at the bottom of the broadcast screen and follow these steps. You will have to enter your unique token number used to join the meeting. You click the cast your vote, and once you have done this, you will see the list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign, then select your voting option. For option two, which is the USSD shortcode, this option will allow voting for unit holders without a smartphone or a computer. To participate, dial *899 *4#, *899 *4# on your phone. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. And once you've done this, you can now select your vote option and then click send. There are three voting options. Unit holders can vote for a motion, against a motion, or abstain from a motion. Please know that you can only vote on any of the resolutions when the chairman declares voting open on that specific resolution. So, for example, you cannot vote on Resolution 2 when the chairman has only opened voting for Resolution 1. Also, when the chairman closes voting on a resolution, a member cannot access or vote on that resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. In the notice convening the meeting, unit holders were encouraged to send questions in advance for the AGM by mailing them through to hello@ashfieldinvest.com. So answers to the questions, if any, sent to the email will be provided at this AGM. So we'll, however, endeavor to take some questions by members and in real time. So you can ask your question by locating the chat box to the right of your screen, typing your question, and then clicking send. So we'll go straight into presentation of the reports. The first item would be the report of the fund manager of the trust for the year ended 2024. So I'll call on the acting portfolio manager of the trust to present the report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we are delighted to welcome you to the 2024 Annual General Meeting of AIM Freedom Fixed Income Trust, AIM FIT. On behalf of the board and management of the fund manager and the trustee, we appreciate your immense support and patronage for the fund. I will touch on the global economic review. The global economy expanded by 3.2% in 2024, according to the World Bank and IMF reports. This compared to an 18-year average growth of 3.7%, excluding the contraction experienced in 2020, induced by COVID-19. The better-than-expected growth outturn was driven by resilient growth in the U.S., improved economic activity in China, and uneven but stable recovery across emerging markets. This is in spite of sluggish growth in the euro area. Persistent inflation, geopolitical conflicts, and rising debt burdens continued to strain economic stability in 2024, with developing nations bearing the heaviest impact. On the domestic front, in 2024, Ghana's economy exhibited modest recovery. This was supported by the improved fiscal management under IMF's $3 billion extended credit facility. However, the country continued to grapple with persistent challenges, including high inflation and a depreciating currency, as well as a significant public debt burden exacerbated by the excessive spending during the election year. Ghana's economy expanded by 5.7% in 2024, significantly outperforming the revised 3.1% growth rate recorded in 2023. The services sector maintained its position as a dominant driver of economic activity, contributing 49.2% of total GDP. This was followed by the industry sector with 31.9% and agri with 19%. Notably, non-oil GDP growth accelerated from 3.6% in 2023 to 6% in 2024, signaling increasing diversification of the economy beyond the extractive sector. Within non-oil GDP, the services sector remained the largest contributor at 46%, followed by industry at 30.8% and agriculture at 22%. Ghana's total public debt stood at $726.7 billion as of December 2024, reflecting a nominal increase from $610 billion in 2023. However, the debt-to-GDP ratio declined from 68.7% to 61.8%, largely due to significant real GDP growth, which helped offset the nominal increase in debt. I'll touch on the fixed income market, which is where the fund largely operates. In 2024, this was dominated by a challenging 2023 as a precursor. The total volume of securities traded rose by 76.76% from 55.68 million in 2023 to 98.44 million in 2024. Additionally, the total number of trades increased by 12.21%, rising from 399,522 in 2023 to 448,307 in 2024. During the year, interest rates trended downwards to mirror the performance of the previous year. The short end of the curve saw 91-day and 182-day Treasury bill rates decline to 27.73% and 28.43% respectively. In December 2024, from 29.39 and 31.70 respectively recorded in December 2023. Similarly, the rate on the 364-day instrument declined to 29.95% in December 2024 from 32.97% in December 2023. Now I'll touch on the fund-specific information. The AIM Freedom Fixed Income Trust is an open-ended unit trust with an unlimited duration. The objective of the fund is to invest in a variety of domestic and international fixed income securities with an aim to offer current income to satisfy liquidity needs of unit holders whilst attaining sustainable long-term income and capital preservation. The trust recorded a 15.62% growth in assets under management from 1.47 million in 2023 to 1.7 million in 2024 on the back of a challenging fixed income market underpinned by the lingering effects of the government of Ghana's domestic debt exchange program. The register of unit holders increased from 450 holders in December 2023 to 464 for the year under review. The trust ended the year 2024 with a net asset value per unit at 0.4808, up from 0.4703 in the year 2023. This corresponds to a 2.24% return to investors. On the portfolio structure, as at the end of December 2024, the trust had 53.33% of its holdings in money market instruments, 43.66% in cash and cash equivalents, 2.54% in fixed income, and a 0.47% in equities. Now, although this is a fixed income fund, we continue to hold some legacy equities, which we have placed on sale on the Ghana Stock Exchange. On the outlook, Ghana's economic outlook for 2025 presents a cautiously optimistic picture, supported by ongoing fiscal consolidation efforts, policy reforms, and recovery in key sectors. According to the IMF, the country's real GDP is projected to grow at a rate of 4.4% in 2025. This growth is expected to be driven by agriculture, strong growth in gold exports, and the services sector, along with the government's focus on infrastructure development and investment in human capital. Inflation remains a significant concern for the economy, following a period of high inflation that saw rates surpass 20% in 2024. The Bank of Ghana's monetary tightening measures are expected to bring inflation down toward more manageable levels by 2025. The IMF projects Ghana's inflation to stabilize around 11.5% for the year. On the fiscal front, Ghana continues its efforts to reduce its budget deficit and stabilize its public debt. The IMF expects the fiscal deficit to narrow to 5.3% of GDP in 2025, aided by improved revenue mobilization through tax reforms and better management of public expenditures. In 2024, the elections outcome introduced both risks and opportunities for our fund. The new administration's reform agenda to restructure key sectors signals a shift in fiscal policy which could impact interest rates and debt sustainability. While commitments to fiscal discipline may improve investor confidence over time, near-term uncertainty around government borrowing, inflation, and policy execution could lead to volatility, primarily in bond yields. We anticipate a cautious approach to fixed income investments, closely monitoring policy developments and market conditions to optimize portfolio positioning and stability and long-term returns. Our foremost priority is to safeguard investors' funds and optimize returns while sustaining a long-term growth momentum. To conclude, to our esteemed unit holders, notwithstanding the domestic and global economic turbulence and demanding operational circumstances, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to remain cautiously optimistic, attentive, responsive, and dedicated to professionally managing your fund so as to fulfill its objectives. We extend our heartfelt appreciation to you for all your patience and confidence in Ashfield, and we thank you very much as we continue to manage your funds. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Team Ashfield, led by the acting portfolio manager. I'll now ask if there are any comments or remarks from members online.
Mr. Chair, I don't think we have any questions from members. We can proceed.
If there are no questions, we'll proceed to the next item, which is the trustees' report. And so I'll call on Mr. Eric Ejay to present the trustees' report to members.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And good morning once again to our cherished unit holders. I read the report of the trustee. Report of the trustee to the unit holders of AIM Freedom Fixed Income Trust for the year ended 31st day of December 2024. In our opinion, as trustee of the scheme, according to information made available to us and the explanations provided, we confirm that in all material respects, the manager has managed the schemes during the period covered by these financial statements in accordance with the trust deed dated 11th day of June 2010, and all regulations of time being in force under the Securities Industry Act 2016 at 929, and the trust and the unit trust and mutual funds regulation 2001 LI 1695. I bring my report to a close, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ejay. I don't know if there are any questions for Mr. Ejay.
Mr. Chair, we don't have any. We can proceed, please.
Okay, so I'll invite the auditor of the Trust Assurance Hub Consult to present the financial report, for the financial year ended 31st December 2024, and any significant findings for prior years.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to all members of AIM Freedom Fixed Income Trust. All protocol observed. My name is Isaac Kwekunyakun of Assurance Hub Consult. I am representing the auditors of the fund, and I'm here to present the independent auditor's report to the members of the AIM Freedom Fixed Income Trust. The auditor's reports are contained in pages 19 to 23 of the audited financial statements, an annual report for the year ended December 31st, 2024. Mr. Chairman, being cognizant of the fact that the report has been shared with members, I may seek your permission to read the auditor's opinion as well as other relevant portions of the audited financial statements.
Please carry on.
We have audited the financial statements of AIM Freedom Fixed Income Trust, which comprise the statements of net assets and statements of assets and liabilities as at 31st December 2024, income and distribution statements, statements of accumulated net investment income, statements of movements in net assets, statements of movement in issued units, statements of cash flow for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies as set out on pages 31 to 51. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement presents fairly, in all material respects, the financial position of the fund as at December 31st, 2024, and its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards and comply with the Securities Industry Act 2016 at 929 and the Unit Trust and Mutual Funds Regulation 2001, LI 1695. Mr. Chairman, basis for our opinion, key audit matters, other information, responsibilities of the fund manager for the financial statements, auditor's responsibilities for the financial statements contained in pages 21 to 22 are all taken as read with your permission. Mr. Chairman, I shall also proceed to read the report on other legal and regulatory requirements. The Companies Act 2019 at 992 requires that in carrying out our audit work, we consider and report on the following matters. We confirm that, 1, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, we were necessary for the purposes of the audit. 2, in our opinion, proper books of accounts has been kept by the trust so far as appears from the examination of those books. And lastly, the trust financial statements are in agreement with the books of accounts. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you to our esteemed auditors. And do we have any questions from our unit holders?
Mr. Chair, we don't.
Were there any questions that were sent ahead of this meeting that require answers?
None, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we've reached a crucial part of the AGM. Exercising your voting rights at this general meeting is a key aspect of the unit holder engagement and a powerful tool to influence the decisions of the trust. The Secretary has already taken us through the guide on how to effectively use your votes at this meeting so that your voice is heard on critical resolutions that need to be considered today. So I'll proceed to table the agenda items that have been presented to members for approval. The meeting will deal with the agenda in the order in which they appear in the notice of the AGM. The motions of the agenda are ordinary resolutions which require a simple majority of votes cast for approval. There are no special resolutions tabled at this meeting for unit holders' approval. Please note that when a motion is tabled for consideration, I'll invite a unit holder to second the motion before it is put to a vote. A unit holder who decides to second the motion through the virtual platform must provide their full name and clearly states that they are seconding the motion that has been tabled. So with the above in mind, we shall commence voting. Our first motion is financial. Pursuant to item 3 of the notice convening this AGM, I hereby table the motion for the adoption of the audited financial statements together with the report of the fund manager, trustees, and auditors for the year ended 31st December 2024. Could the unit holder please second the motion?
Mr. Chair, so Akrofi Kwabute Adoduaji has seconded the motion. My apologies, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Akrofi. I now invite unit holders to vote for, against, or abstain from the motion.
So, Mr. Chair, we have the results of the voting. We have 32 voting in favor of the motion. We have 0 against and 0 abstentions.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I accordingly declare that the motion is duly carried. The next item to be considered under ordinary business is the confirmation of the auditor's remuneration for the year ended 31st December 2024 and the authorization of the trustee of the fund to fix the auditor's fees for the year ended 31st December 2025. So I hereby table the motion for the confirmation of the remuneration of the auditors for the year ended 31st December 2024. The motion also seeks unit holders' authorization for the trustees of the fund manager, the trustees of the fund to fix the remuneration of the auditors for the year ended 31st December 2025. Can we ask a unit holder to second the motion?
Mr. Chair, so Isaka Nafisatu has seconded the motion.
Thank you, Nafisatu. We can proceed to do the voting.
Mr. Chair, so we have the results. We have 29 for the motion, 0 against and 0 abstentions.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I accordingly declare that the motion is duly carried. We will now open the floor for questions. If there are unit holders who have any questions or comments, you can feel free to do so. Okay, I do take it that there are no comments or questions, which means our unit holders are happy with the performance in 2024. And okay, there's a question online, one question. So we'll take the question and then we will provide an answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Secretary.
So the question reads, what is the effect of the dollar on our investment?
I would assume the question is related to the recent appreciation of the CD against the dollar, maybe in the first half of this year, and what the impact would be on the fund. So I'll ask the portfolio manager to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So with the recent appreciation of the Ghana cedi, what has happened is that we are seeing more interest, especially from the foreign portfolio investors coming back into our markets to trade our bonds. So this has led to some price recovery. And so we are beginning to see that prices of the fixed income securities are inching up gradually, which is a positive signal for our fund because our fund has positions in some of these Government of Ghana fixed income securities. And so as the prices recover, which means that the price essentially is going up, it will translate into the value of the fund going up. And then, so investors, unit holders essentially would see a positive appreciation in the value of their holdings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victor. I guess the assurance to unit holders is that it looks like we are at the beginning of a turnaround of the local economy. Things are positive. We see interest rates coming down, inflation also trending downwards. So coupled with the strengthening of the cedi, we should see local financial assets generally heading north. So our unit holders should rest assured that this year will be much better than they've seen, and we will entrust the fund manager to deliver the returns that we are all looking for. I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's meeting and for your participation and valuable contributions. We've successfully addressed the key objectives outlined on the agenda, and I appreciate the collaborative spirit that we have displayed. Our next meeting will be held next year, again to look at the progress of the trust, and I'm confident that with our collective efforts, this will lead to a successful and profitable trust. As always, I encourage all of you to tell your friends and your friends of friends that the FFIT is a good investment, and this is where they should put their money, which is ably managed by Ashfield Investment Managers with the fiduciary responsibility placed in UMB with our Auditors Assurance Hub. So governance is strong, returns are good, so we encourage all of you to help us sell this product to your family and your friends. I'd like to thank you all for your valuable time and commitment. So as chairman, I now declare that this meeting is adjourned, and we'll see you all again next year. Have a good day. Thank you.